Hello, I'm Emma Howard and I'm joined by Dr. Jonty Heaversedge, who's an expert on men's health problems. Hello.
Hi, Emma.
Have a question here from, I don't know if this man is young or old, but certainly all men will be interested in this, I'm sure. My penis becomes sore and inflamed whenever I wash. Does this mean I have an STI? Now, that's a sexually transmitted infection, as we know, but I'm sure it must be at some stage a concern for all men.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon to get a little bit of redness or inflammation, particularly in the most sensitive part of the penis, which is the head of the penis, the glands of the penis. What's interesting about this is that this guy says that this is happening when he washes more. I certainly don't think it sounds like an STI, that's the first thing, a sexually transmitted infection. If there were blisters or ulcers, then I'd be more concerned. But if it's just becoming inflamed when he washes, I'm wondering more about some of the chemicals that might be present in perhaps the soaps that he's using. Because there are chemicals in a lot of disinfectants and soaps that people use that will cause some irritation.
Especially if you have sensitive skin, I suppose.
Exactly, and I just wonder whether that's the explanation for him. And I guess it is important to wash, particularly if you have a foreskin, it's important to wash the penis. But I guess what I'd suggest is trying to just use water or a very plain sort of soap to do that with.
So do that initially. Then should he go along and have it checked out?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if it's not settling down, he should have it checked out, because occasionally you can also get a balanitis, which is an inflammation of the head of the penis, due to some types of infection, like thrush, for example, can cause redness and irritation.
And men get thrush much more than is talked about. Women always talk about thrush, but it happens to men too, doesn't it?
It does happen to men too. I mean, particularly again, men with foreskins, because obviously underneath the foreskin is warm and moist, and it's ideal for a yeast infection like thrush to thrive. So actually men do suffer with thrush as well, yeah.
Well, the first thing to do then is to just wash with water, and if the symptoms persist, go and see his GP.
Yeah, avoid the soaps in the first instance and then see if it settles.
Jonty, good advice, thank you.
Okay.
And if you have a similar problem, we hope we might have given you some help. But remember, it's always best to go and see your own doctor for medical advice. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with more health questions and answers.